Hey guys, Mr. Jalapeno here with another DIY. And on today's project, we're going to be repairing this water damaged door jamb here in the bathroom. The homeowner asked me if there's any way I could repair this without having to replace the door jamb, and I said, yeah, let's do it. So first thing I did was I laid down some blue tape, and then I'm going to use my putty knife to scrape off the bottom of the jamb. Then I'm going to use 120 grit sanding paper to sand down the area. This is just going to help get rid of that bump, because a lot of the times with MDF is any water that goes into it, the MDF will just absorb it like a sponge. Next, I'm going to be using a little bit of this all-purpose Bondo. You can also just use regular wood putty, but that's going to take forever to dry compared to this Bondo where it's going to be sandable in 15 minutes. Just don't forget to add that cream hardener. That's very important. That's what's going to make it sandable in 15 minutes. Mix it really, really good. That way you have one consistent color, as you can see right here. And then just go ahead and apply it to the damaged area. All I'm doing here is just applying it with my little putty knife, and then I'm going to use my 4-inch putty knife to make sure it's nice and flat. And so if you're finding any value in this video, don't forget to follow and subscribe. Also, let me know in the comments if maybe there's a better putty I could use for these areas. But anyways, once you apply the Bondo, let it set for like 15 minutes and then go ahead and sand it down. Sometimes you might have to do 2 coats of Bondo to make it look nice and smooth. And once I sanded everything down with 220 grit sanding paper, I'm just going to caulk the corner right here where the casing meets the jamb. This is just to make that corner look a little bit better. That way it doesn't crack out in the future either. And once everything's dry, it's time to prime. I'm using this drywall primer, but it does say it works on wood and brick. And here, as you can see, I'm just using my brush to apply the primer. I actually ended up doing 2 coats of primer. That way it seals everything up pretty good. And once that primer dries, it's time to use the original paint for the door jamb. If you want to help get rid of brush marks, I always recommend to add a little bit of Floetrol to your paint. But anyways, as you can see, it does not look water damaged anymore. The homeowners were super happy. That way they didn't have to change out the jamb. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Jalapeno Solutions. Boom!